Today, you young people end one phase of your life and begin another. Your parents, your teachers, all of us are genuinely excited for you. There's a story of a diplomat who caught a taxi in Washington, and on the long ride to Dulles International Airport, he struck up a conversation with the cabbie. And the young man happened to mention that he would be graduating in a few weeks. And the diplomat asked what kind of work he intended to pursue. "I don't know," replied the cabbie, "because I haven't decided yet." Well, once at Dulles, the diplomat caught a plane which was taking him straight to the Soviet Union to Moscow. And arriving there, he got in a taxi cab and started the long ride in, and he, speaking fluent Russian, struck up a conversation with that cabbie. And asked the cabbie, too, by coincidence, said he, too, would soon be graduating. And when the diplomat asked him what line of work he planned to pursue, the cabbie replied, "I don't know. They haven't decided yet."
Nancy and I consider it a great pleasure to be here today to congratulate you who have successfully completed your education and training at the United States Military Academy. I'm a little self-conscious being introduced as your commander when I began my military career as a second lieutenant in the cavalry, the horse cavalry, that is. I have threatened on occasion that was the reason I got this job, was so that I could reinstitute that horse cavalry.
When I was attending college, now I know many of you probably think that was back when there were dinosaurs roaming the earth. Actually, they weren't. It was about the time when Moses was parting the Red Sea.
I can remember thinking on my graduation day that it was a time for me and my friends and my teachers and my family, and the commencement speaker seemed to be an intruder at a private party, an outsider at an intimate celebration of moments shared, all leading up to this very special day. Now, I can't believe that it feels very much different for you today, even though the spirit of St. Louis has been outpaced by rockets to the moon, and today's high technology makes the radios and the films and industrial efforts of that earlier day seem as remote as the Stone Age. I know there's some of you probably think that my first degree was engraved in a stone tablet. I know that surface appearances have changed a lot. Looking back, for example, to Seton Hall's freshman rules for 1927, I noticed that red caps and black socks were to be worn at all times by freshmen, and that knickers, bow ties, and mustaches were banned. About the only place left today where you encounter regulations that silly is in the federal bureaucracy, and we're trying our best to get rid of them there. But it goes without saying that this is a very special day for you who are graduating. Would you forgive me if I say it's a very special day for me also? Over the years since I sat where you of the graduating class of 1982 are now sitting, I've returned to the campus many times, always with great pleasure and warm nostalgia. Now, it just isn't true that I only came back this time to clean out my gym locker. On one of those occasions, as you've been told, I addressed a graduating class here neath the elms and was awarded an honorary degree. At that time, I informed those assembled that while I was grateful for the honor, it added to a feeling of guilt I'd been nursing for 25 years because I always figured the first degree they gave me was honorary. Now, if it's true that tradition is the glue holding civilization together, then Eureka has made its contribution to that effort. Yes, it is a small college in a small community. It's no impersonal assembly line diploma mill. As the years pass, if you have let yourselves absorb the spirit and tradition of this place, you'll find the 4 years you spent here living in your memory as a rich and important part of your life. Oh, you'll have some regrets along with the happy memories. I let football and other extracurricular activities eat into my study time, with the result that my grade average was closer to the C level required for eligibility than it was to straight A's. And even now, I wonder what I might have accomplished if I'd studied harder. But by the same token, I'll try not to belabor you with some of the standard rhetoric that is beloved of graduation speakers. For example, I'm not going to tell you that you know more today than you've ever known before or than you will ever know again. The other standby is when I was 14, I didn't think my father knew anything. By the time I was 21, I was amazed at how much the old gentleman had learned in 7 years. And then, of course, the traditional and the standby is that a university like this is a storehouse of knowledge because the freshmen bring so much in and the seniors take so little away. You members of the graduating class of 1981, I don't really go back that far, are what behaviorists call achievers. And while you will look back with warm pleasure, your memories of these years that brought you here to where you are today, you are also, I know, looking at the future that seems uncertain to most of you, but which, let me assure you, offers great expectations. I believe that we've made great progress in our efforts to rebuild the morale and the readiness of our armed forces. Once again, young Americans wear their uniforms and serve their flag with pride, and our military forces are back on their feet and standing tall. And now the class of 1984 has its turn. After 4 years of hard work and dedication, you've earned the right to be saluted. It will now be your responsibility to guard the flame of peace and freedom and to keep that flame burning brightly. Your jobs will never be easy, but I believe you're ready to meet the challenges before you and to turn them into opportunities for America. Your experience at this magnificent institution, guided by honesty, integrity, and an abiding loyalty to our nation, will serve you well. Now, I know that this period of your life you have been and are critically looking at the mores and customs of the past and questioning their value. Every generation does that. May I suggest, don't discard the time-tested values upon which civilization was built simply because they're old. More important, don't let today's doom criers and cynics persuade you that the best is past, that from here on it's all downhill. Each generation sees farther than the generation that preceded it because it stands on the shoulders of that generation. And it's a day for you to remember, not for anything that I've had to say, but for what it will mean to you for the rest of your lives. And can I, and speaking for those people over there in that particular section, tell you, you'll be amazed a half a century down the road at how clearly and how warmly the memories of these last few years will stay with you and how much they'll mean to you.